again. It's not a halo, it's just the lights. So let's start with our lovely announcements. Hello to all the people. Hello to the new faces. Hello to faces that have been here for haven't seen in a while. Haven't seen in a while. Can you see us? So first announcement, I want to say thank you. Yesterday, and in the aroma room, but it extends. But for all the people who gave their time too, it's like some of us may be looking at us, some of us, are here, and some doing their own thing on this Sunday to say how grateful we are again. I kept saying, it's more than a fundraiser because what everybody shared was what we're here for. It went beyond the pod. I said this is something that ripples across the planet and just beams light everywhere, because that's what we're doing. And we see the ripple effect of a yucky moment. How about the ripple effect of moments as powerful as those? Because we are a big, sappy, goofy group of people, and a lot of good work got done yesterday, and some people had some healing done. And we kept saying all day long that, all the people laying down were the healers, and everybody else was just their assistants helping them. And to know that, they did the work, and that the people that came and assisted, thank you for your time and your energy and your gifts to bring about such a wonderful day. And thank you for dreaming a dream that became so wonderful. And it's written down. And of course, she's not here today, but Alicia came in and helped yesterday and checked everybody in. But she's also come last couple weeks and helped me clean in here. So all the cleaning that happened back there and stuff, thank Alicia for, because she's been doing that as her gift back to the pod too. So I always wanted to shout out to people, so I know she can feel this. So we're just going to send vibes to her. And she's probably like getting goosebumps right now. And when she comes in next Sunday, we can tell, hey, did you feel us? Because we all vibed you at one time. Breathe. So as we continue on, we have tonight, Diversity Night. We're going to let Scott talk about it a little bit because it's going to be fun. It's rollerball. So tell us about rollerball.
So rollerball party. We'll put a big table in the middle. We'll bring books and an iPad, and we'll Google stuff. And I'll bring a bunch of fractionated coconut oil and 30 or 40 roller balls, and we'll just make concoctions. And I'll bring my bag, and
essential oils.
Yeah. Okay. So let me reverse back, just in case there's folks who don't know what I'm talking about. So we have essential oils. And I have lots and lots and lots of them, a very big bag full. And I will bring them and give you concoctions that can do everything from make your shoulder feel better to change your mood, enhance your mood, bring you into an emotion that you want to work with or out of something that you're finished with. So all kinds of applications from ADD to, like I said, I got a sore shoulder, put some goo on it. So that's what we'll be doing tonight. It's $5 a bottle and $6 to $7.15. I'm not good at marketing, can you tell?
That's good.
Okay. I'm supposed to channel my dad at that point, and I just haven't got there yet.
My dad was a butcher.
My dad was a marketing expert.
I know. I'm trying to see how that applies. I'll cater it. No. So next week we're going to have a Reiki share for Diversity Night. They were talking about wanting to do something, and we asked Jen Wilgang, but she was busy, so Scott's going to lead that. It's just for all those people that, there's some Reiki practitioners out there that never get Reiki done on them or don't feel like they get practice. And we already done a talk here a few weeks ago about we're all energy workers, we're all healers. So come in and get your healing groove on and do energy work with each other. It's like remembering that the person on the receiving end is really the healer. You're the assistant, even when we're pushing light. So just be aware of that, and come in and practice letting it flow, practice getting out of the way, because that's really all you're doing. Just getting out of the way and letting that light that you are beam out of you. We had all kinds of modalities here yesterday, and everybody had a blast. So that'll be next Friday. It'll be next Sunday from 6 to 7:15 for Diversity Night. So something different that I also want to do, because I also always want to uplift people. And, you know, we did talks about limelight and standing in the light and all these different things. So I would like to invite people to come up here and do a talk. Doesn't have to be as long as I go, because sometimes I go a half hour, maybe even a little longer. It can be 15, 20 minutes, 25 if you dare. Bring you to the game. You know what we're about. Bring your perspective of the god or the goddess, how you see it, what you would like to share. Talk with me. I've got a couple. I would like to do this in August. There's one Sunday where I'm going to be gone because I'm going to be getting my daughter, figure out the logistics of it later. But on the 29th, this is a Saturday. So on the 30th, I'm going to ask for a guest speaker for that day. That could be one of this. So I'll do next week so that you guys can prepare. Call me, email me, smoke signal me, find me, and we'll talk and we'll see what we can come up with. So, hi.
So you want guest speakers for all of August or just that one?
Well, actually, that's the 30th, so it's the last day of July, not busting chops.
Oh, last day of July.
It is one where I actually am going to be gone.
Okay, got
And
it.
in August, I'm inviting that, so it doesn't have to be all 4 talks. I can do some. Let me know. That's where we'll talk.
Okay,
If I have 4 people that want to, yay. Now, we can't pay you right now. So if you'll do it for free, yay. It's a gift of your wonder. But come and talk to us. Tell us what you have going on, something that you would like to share. You know, email me, talk to me here, whatever. So you've got plenty of time, is my point, to figure that out. If you're so inclined, if there's somebody watching us on live stream that feels like they have something to share, but they've been maybe chicken, not busting your chops, but maybe just realizing that they do want to start doing these kind of things, and they do have something they want to share. I did a talk on the gut, your second brain, and it was kind of sciencey, metaphysical. So the subject matter is open. So be aware of that, you know. Becky's done biology talks and things like that, echo talks. Bring your game. Bring you? We did a thing here a few weeks ago. We took a vow as a community to allow each other to be who we are and to allow each other to be who we choose to be. That's what I'm talking about. Who are you and who you choose to be? And do you want to share that with us in the talk? So put that out there. Now, I've also put out there to the community about artists and stuff to paint this building. I haven't gotten any feedback yet, and in a while, I'm just going to tell Lori when this project is done, do whatever she wants to paint the building. If I have no artists that want to take part in recreating the mural on the outside of that. So just put that in your mind. We're in no rush because the city is doing all this work on this sidewalk and you see it coming along a little at a time. Nothing will happen until that is completely done because all their tractors and stuff are there anyway. I feel complete with announcements, so while we get back into our non-heady selves, we're going to take some nice deep breaths, and I invite us to make some noise on the way out, breathing in as full as we can, and exhaling as much as we can. So deep breath in. I'm going to do that 2 more times. One more really nice deep breath and just exhale as much as you can. Those help me get out of my head. So it's interesting that when I do talks and I prepare for them, get these on. I don't know if that really translates to, but I process it for the week or 2 that I'm in it. So if I could have we're gonna have to probably negotiate lighting and stuff. The very first slide. Yeah, because if you shut those off, that light should be enough to illuminate the room and still be able to see the pictures. And as we move forward, we'll see. Oh, yeah. Perfect, 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 perfect. You heard me, now what? So, as I've been processing this talk within my body, there's a little bit that I must admit when my little kid got scared. because we're going to be talking about hurt, and no one likes to talk about that. So today's talk is going to be a little bit different because I am actually inviting everybody to actually forget metaphysics for a day, for a moment, for a brief period of time. Forget all you know, because I don't need to teach any single one of you how to forgive, how to understand, and we'll probably talk about that again in the future. Like we had a whole forgiveness forum one diversity night, and it was a beautiful evening. But that's not where we're going today. Today we're going right pure into, you hurt me, now what? So if I can have the next frame, slide, picture, you hurt my feelings. Breathing into all of this and getting into the most innocent part of us. So I think I need to sit down because my kid sits and my man stands. And sometimes we have to do something energetically different in our body to be able to get and listen to that little kid voice within us. So throughout my life, throughout my adult life or quasi-adult life, when I met Margie and we started our workshops, very, very, very much of it was geared towards the inner child. And now throughout our lives together as friends and separately in our own selves and wonders, everybody's always noticed that little kid within us. And for me, when I was that young man, still really in adolescence, when you're in your early 20s, whether we want to admit it or not, that boy man thing was coming up at me, and it was like really flustering that crap out of me because I'm like, what do you mean? I'm a man, I'm 25. But I didn't realize that that essence of my little kid was so present with me all the time, and that's what people were attracted to, actually, and that wonder. And some of the places where people actually teased or scoffed or made fun is because they were just dying to get there. And I didn't realize how disconnected people were from that, because like, yeah, Margie, you're like, well, you could be little kids in a nanosecond, and in any single way, but be able to tap into that point of, you hurt me. So much in our metaphysical selves, we go right past the you hurt me part into, I understand, I forgive them. I created this existence to teach me something, and they were just a mirror of my personality, reflecting back to me in my own movie of life the things that I need to clean my karmic attractions and aversions. And the little kid inside is like, what? You hurt my feelings, is all they know. And we're blown right on by, you hurt my feelings, with all that metaphysical gobbledygook, which is real cool. And they're like, look up at you like to them, they're seeing you with a smoking jacket and a pipe, like you're all snobby and stuff, because you're that foreign to them in that moment. And it's like, to be able to appreciate the you hurt me part of this and you hurt my feelings and what's really going on in the human being when that happens. It's a trigger response. You know, we as adults want to get all stoic with everything and say, no, I'm fine. And then we bury it, and who gets left there with the bag, so to speak? That one. Just sitting there like that. You hurt my feelings. Give me the next slide for a second, because I'll go right into that. When a person tells you you hurt them, you don't get to decide you didn't.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because that's where some of the metaphysical parts of us lose it. Well, you created that. Well, only you can hurt your own feelings. I just spoke my truth. When the premises of our workshop, that Margie, Scott, I, Marty, Marion and Hector now, our mentor art sellers, all the different co-leaders we've had, the basis of everything was how you feel is how you feel. You know, our mentor art sellers gave us a story that I'll never forget. It's in one of our workshop books, Coming Home, Bradshaw, Homecoming. And it's a story of a little boy that wakes up in the middle of the night, scared and alone, and goes downstairs to talk to his parents, and he says, I'm lonely. And they said, no, you're not, go back to bed. And he went back to bed, not only lonely, but now confused about his own feelings. And that what we do to each other when we invalidate each other's feelings. Because somewhere in our own ego, we don't want to think that we hurt someone. So we just go there. No, I didn't. I didn't hurt them. That's their stuff. They're just processing. And it's like, I was talking to Scott a little while ago before we came in, and on different levels and on many levels in my lifetime, I sometimes feel like an alien on this planet. Because I walk around and I'm like, I'm coming from this innocent place within me that is very present with this little kid, and he's the one who busts my chops. I'm like, that hurt your feelings. He's the one who will tell me. And I know that I don't do things on purpose that will hurt someone's feelings. And if I thought I did, I'm mortified inside. My little kid feels like that other one. It just crushes my heart to think I hurt someone's feelings. Because we have all that metaphysical gobbledygook that's wonderful and all that adult stuff that can like fluff it off. But every time the adult fluffs it off, there's a little kid who had to go and swallow their pain and sit in the corner and just hush up. Don't cry. Boys don't cry. Be a big girl. Knock it off. And they shut it down and they shut it up. And it just stores in there and it stores in there and it stores in there. And then we're walking around in these adult bodies, and somebody does something one day and we get pissed at them because we're all adult. We get mad. We get angry. Baloney. That's the nice word. We got our feelings hurt. We talked last week of intention, the power of tapping into your intention. And for a brief moment, I said, there's a word intent in there. Sorry about this bit. And what is your intent when you're saying something to somebody? And to take responsibility for your words with people. And to own that if they said, you hurt me, then you hurt them, whether it makes any sense or not. Because in this moment, you might be going, you might actually be confused, and that's okay. You might not logically know anything that you just did or said that hurt them, but you have to stand in there and listen and hear what they just said, because from that next moment, you can talk. So that comes to the now what part. So, may I have the next frame, please? Spiteful words can hurt your feelings, but silence can break your heart. So as I'm like doing this talk, and I'm like not even writing anything scripted, and I was just looking for a couple pictures. I'm like, wow, look at these things I'm finding that just kind of perfectly fit right in. Because you're right, they're right. Well, you're right, because somewhere you're all connected. That spiteful words can hurt our hearts. When we were kids, sticks and stones can break my bones, but names can never hurt me. No one ever threw a stick or a stone at me, and I got my feelings hurt all the time. So where they came up with that one, I don't know. Because I'm like, it's illogical. It doesn't make sense. Even as a 5-year-old, I'm like, this is just illogical. And why are these people throwing sticks and stones anyway? Has nobody taught them to be nice? Someone could get hurt.
I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say
It bounces off me and it sticks to you. Exactly. I like that one. But when we go down to this one of it, it's like, even as this big grown man, okay, let me put it this way. How many of you really think you're hiding when your feelings are hurt and you don't say something and that we don't know, myself included? Right? We really think that people don't know. It's like, the joke's on you. It's like, I am wonderful at poker if I was really playing poker. Other than that, I have no poker face at all, and I know that. Now, there's moments I do, and I know I could breathe into things, but in reality, you're still going to know because you're going to see my eyes. And you're going to know when you hurt my feelings, whether I didn't say anything or just... We all show up differently. I laugh at myself because I've cut myself. I'm like, really? You gonna do the silent thing? You gonna like wait till they ask you what's wrong? Fishing. Wait all day for it. Never fished a day in my life except for this. City boy. But that we'll fish for, and we will wait and wait and wait and wait and come up with all creative ways to be silent. They walk in the room, it's like or we start channeling our cat. We like turn our back and stick our tail up and walk away. All these covert ways of saying, you hurt me, but that silence part of it breaks our heart. It really does. Because I know that all the times, because then we don't stop it. If you're anything like me, if there's another human at all ever like me, they would think stuff up in their own head and keep that going on. You hurt me, and then you don't say to them, but you make up this like dialogue in your head, and you put them there, and you start running this like inner movie in your movie, and it's all make believe, and it usually sucks. The plot sucks, the characters suck, and you always lose, but it's always their fault. So it's just balance. But that's what happens inside in that heart, and that heart, and that heart. And it's like, okay, it may have hurt my feelings, but I'm breaking my own heart now because it's feeling emptier and emptier and emptier. And the more I do that, or we do that, or I've done that in my life, it's like we teach about the 4 directions and the cave and the bear and west. There's a difference between going into the cave for a moment of introspection or licking a wound and healing and coming back out, than hiding away from the world because your silence is breaking your own heart. And with every moment you stay silent, you get further and further withdrawn in your own silence. And it gets to be a very cold, lonely place for any of us to be in. And it's all because we're afraid to say, you hurt me. 3 words. 3 words. They're little words too. 3 letters, 4 letters, 2 letters. It's like a little word haiku. But there's such big words in our body to get out of our mouths. And it seems like what's even funnier, dynamically, that the bigger the man, the harder to say the 3 little words. The smaller the man, the easier. And it's like, wow, that's an interesting dynamic with just men. Women have a little bit more ease, but I think only that's because they're here to teach us of expressing emotions. But it's not by any means easy, because I could look at a few of my sisters right now and they're like, I ain't saying it. I don't want to be that vulnerable. I'm not giving you my underbelly. I'm not showing that. No way, you'll hurt me again. You'll hurt me again. Well, that's different words. So what's the next thing then after that? What do we do? What do we do then? How do we get past this? How do we get past the silence? If I could have the next frame while I take a drink of water. So it's like interesting that we met Tanya, and she introduced Scott to this term, superpowers. And she came here for diversity night. We talked about your superpowers. And it, just all these different dynamics of superheroes started showing up around us in different ways. So as we look at this, and I saw the different, be brave aspects of this, because that's partially what this talks about. And I came up with this picture. I'm like, oh, perfect. Perfect depiction of being brave. And that's the one who's got to be brave, right? That little kid. He's got to be brave enough, or she, that just happens to be a little boy, to say what's going on inside of us. To be brave enough to, if I can have the next slide, say what you want to say and let your words fall out. We're going to be hearing that song a little bit, sung by the lovely Miss Randy. And it's one of the most powerful songs, one of the songs we actually play in our workshop, about that ability to say, that ability to be able to say what you want to say and let your words fall out, just fall out of your mouth, like when we drink too much water and we're being silly, they're all out. And it's that little kid again that's got to be the superhero and be brave. And I'm like, is it? Because when we were little kids, we said it all the time. They had no problem just saying, you hurt me. You hurt my feelings. I don't like you anymore. I'm not talking to you. Why? You hurt my feelings. I want my ball back. Anything. It just came right out. So maybe the ones that need to be brave aren't so little after all. Maybe the ones that need to be brave are these big, tough adults that got in the way with their dignity, their integrity, and their ingenuity, and all the other words that end in Y, I guess, that make them think that they're beyond owning that they got their feelings hurt. They're airy-fairy. Too airy-fairy to own that I got hurt. And they go back to that, well, you created this and all that jazz, which we know about. That's okay. You know, there's a gift that was given to me by a fiance that didn't quite end up being a wife. How do you say that? But what a great gift to me, and I'm always willing to drop the dime on the emotional journey here because it's a discovery, and I don't care. That's my mission. My mission is to take you on a journey to the center of the universe, a journey to the center of your inner space, all through the portal of your heart, even if it means dropping a dime on all the silly crap I went through. So in my journey as a man growing up in this world, and what does it mean to be a man, and in that hurt little boy that had been with him because he just was and is that. Thing is what it is. That exists within me. But in the dynamic of relationships, I didn't realize that emotionally I was showing up that way a little bit. And after we had broken up, the person still came back here and here to get stuff. And one day I was sitting on the couch and I was in that needy little ouch space, but in that energetic pouting place. And she says, thank you for the sentence, I don't want to see that pouty faced little boy, which sounds really cold and mean and hateful. And I know on that metaphysical side, this is her tripping out and not wanting to see the pain because it hurts and she feels like crap. But what happened in me was it sounded like machinery, the loudest machinery I ever heard in my life, because it was a click and the roles changed. And it was one of the most healing moments in my life when the little boy and the man changed places because I didn't realize I had him in front and not from that wondered wide-eyed child leading the way, but from the guy from the point of he was taking all the hits in life. And I had this angry feeling, but more empowered. And I said, I will never let a woman talk to me that way again. It wasn't about hating on women either. I love women. It's got nothing to do with that. It was about that little boy that was being beat up in that moment and felt it. And it hurt my feelings. And I had the wrong one leading the way when it came to dealing with life coming at him. And I couldn't let him take all the hurt. I had to be there for him in a different way and shift that reality so that I could be the adult to be brave enough to say, hey, that hurt my feelings. You didn't really need to go there, did you? Got it. Thanks for showing me what my face looked like. Can switch. So we have to be the ones that are brave enough to stand there and know that little kid got hurt. One of my favorite pictures of Rose and I is when she was like 2 or 3 years old, and we're taking pictures for preschool, the dad and the kid, right? And she's got that little shy, like hiding behind me, but there, halfway behind. That energy is how that little kid is with us. And then you keep coaxing them, right? No, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. And the moment there's unsafety, you're right there to protect them from that kind of aspect of life. But we're never protecting them from how they feel. We're never saying, oh no, don't say that. That'll cause you damage later. No, say it. And they have no problem saying that hurt. So Margie and I have been friends for a really long time. And it's been a beautiful, wonderful journey. I'm very honored and grateful for it. And we process so much of our hurt with each other as this raw little kid that the other people that work with us, bless their hearts, just did not know what to do. They were like shell shocked, but at the same time, I watched how it gave them permission to be emotional and to say when you hurt me and to let their words fall out, because we let our words fall out with each other, slobbering out. There was no editing. And then we'd always make up because we knew our little kids they don't have the yucky language that the adult has. So when we finally got out of all the way, there was no cursing, there was never used it, no bad words happened. It was down to the, you hurt my feelings, or ouch, or this or that, and it was raw and real. The adults have all the crap in the way, and they're the ones that we're afraid to speak our mind because our tongue will be like a knife and cut them. And it's like, not your little kid. They won't do that. They're just going to say, you hurt me. It's 3 words, and it kills us to be able to say it inside. Some of the lyrics in this song that I wanted to look at, and where did the song go? All right, we're going to just start throwing papers around, so deal with that. Okay, there we go. So, improv. Fallen for the fear and done. No. Everybody's been there, been stared down by the enemy. So for us as a little kid, whoever's hurting our feelings in that moment is that perceived enemy. We got to be able to sit there and look and be empowered as a little kid, be empowered as the adult, and say how you felt. When was the last time you told someone, you hurt me? Without being big and scary. And they mean to pick on you. You just have front row sucks, man, in comedy routines anywhere now. It's been a long time. Now, I know, and I'm not talking about you in this moment, I know that it's come out of each and every one of us in our humanness, and this is where I'll let you forgive for 1 second, then be done with it. Forgive ourselves for that moment where it's just come out sloppy. And it wasn't intended. But it definitely landed. And going back to that slide earlier where it says you don't get to tell someone that it didn't hurt. You don't get to justify it, reason about it, anything in your head. You just have to go, I heard them. Wow, I didn't intend that. And that could be your next line. I didn't intend that. But first you got to be able to be willing to say it. Where are we at in time? 10 till. So this is the daring part. This is the part that's up to you guys to how far you want to get this. This is what I'm inviting each and one of you to do right now in pairs, is to break off into pairs. And we're going to do this for 10 minutes and see what gets tapped in by just looking in someone's eyes, and each one's going to take turns. When you're the listener, your job is to do nothing. No taking care of, no touching, no coddling. Listen. And stay in their eyes and don't move. The other person's job is to just say, you hurt me. Let that person be your surrogate for anyone and anything that's hurt you. This is daring, this is challenging, it may be scary. It scared my little kid when I came up with the idea because he said they'll be afraid to do it. I'm like, no, not these people. We'll be challenged enough to do it with each other in a safe place. If it taps you into something, go. Say the words. Get it out of your body. If all you did is get you hurt me's out for 5 minutes, no yelling, soft, present with that person. Notice, discover. We say this is a place of discovering our humanity, while we celebrate our divinity. Discover this part of yourself. Be brave enough to do this with each other and to say you hurt me, so that we can get those little nodules out of the way, so we can celebrate more of that divinity part. So we'll keep the lights like this. Philip will even lower them just a little bit so you can see each other's eyes, but have a little bit of safety of the shadow. And even if you want to distance yourselves a little bit. So pick a partner and I'm out on the rest of the instructions, unless you ask. I'd invite you to pick someone that you don't know, for the safety of not knowing. Or not. So I'll give you the time. We're at whoever begins, you have 5 minutes, and then we'll pick another person. Bring it back. That's her us. See, it's not my wise little kid who's afraid of that. It's my scared little kid. Like, well, you're gonna freak out. But my wise little kid knows that would happen. Wow. Great. So it's always an honor for me to watch people be brave, people trust each other, coming into a new environment and jumping right in. We talked about yesterday's event went making light, playful talks about all the sappy love talk that's between each other on Facebook. And I'm like, maybe a bunch of, airy fairy people here or there. But there's some brave people here that are spreading the light, chasing demons. And those are our demons. When Scott and I do our workshop, he calls it killing demons. I like to chase them, so I don't kill anything. But I have a sword too, and when the time's right, it's like some demons are gonna be gone. And when the line I was looking for before, which I was getting lost in the print, that reflected the bravery of what you just did was nothing's gonna hurt you the way that words do, and they settle into your skin, keep it on the inside, and no sunlight, and sometimes a shadow wins. And that's what I was lending to in this. It's like for me, again, I'm an energy person and I see energy. So like delightful, healing, loving energy in this room and between each of you as that was happening. It's always an honor for me to witness, and it moves my heart, because again, I'm proud to be part of a family that is so willing to be real and to know that I'm not always real because I've been conditioned to shut up and to not say, you hurt me. Instead, I'll just treat you like a jerk for a week. And it's like, but that makes us sad, man. I don't want to be mad at my friends because they hurt my feelings in my head. So that's the rest of that, bringing the metaphysics back online and doing all the things that we know to do and realizing it's an inside job, and all of those wonders get to come back online now. Only if you promise to say what you want to say and let the words fall out completely all the time. Now, sometimes people get a little over brave. If we could have the next one. And then you only live once, have fun and take a chance or two. Don't do one brave thing today and run like hell. So if that's the kind of brave you are, and want to do that to the bear, you better run. But most of the time, even when we do stupid things like that, it's really as innocent as this very next person. And all you have to do is this. If I could have the next slide. Because that's usually what we look like inside when we realize we hurt someone's feelings. Because I don't really see any mean people in front of me. I do see human people in front of me. And when I see them get that they hurt someone's feelings, that's what their face looks like. And when I can picture that as the face in them when they realize they hurt my feelings, it doesn't hurt as much. Isn't that funny? When I can keep this in my mind's eye, I know that they didn't do it on purpose. They just tripped over their own tail and barked out some things that hurt my feeling, but that's going to be their face. That will help the healing. So keep that. That's the picture I want in your head for the rest of your life. And now we're going to get this wonderful gift of the rest of these words. Receive them in through the beauty of Randy's voice and the lyrics and the music as we remember to be brave. Thank you. Awesome.